Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today I am delighted because the lovely folks at the Pokémon Company International decided to give me another exclusive reveal. So let's take a look at Copperajah EX. It's coming in Paldea Evolved, which is coming out in early June. Paldea Evolved has an official release date of the 9th of June. And I just want it out there. I love that they gave me Copperajah to reveal, because this is a really good card. Like a genuinely legitimate good card. Not like, hey, it's Wassy, he loves every card, he's getting overly excited again, bless him. Oh no. This is like a legitimately good card. Now, it might be good with what we've got. But if it's not good with what we've got now, and it might be, this is a card that the second we get any even remotely good Metal Energy Acceleration, this card is going to be full on busted. There is so much to love about this card. So starting off then, we got 300 HP for a Stage 1 EX. That is a lot. If we take a look at some of the Stage 1 EXs that we got in the Scarlet and Violet base set, this is just better. Bayonet's got 250, Oinkolone's got 260, Arcanine's got 280. Okay, fine, Gyarados has 300. But Gyarados is also kind of terrible. Like, low-key, not a good card. Sorry. It's got big numbers, but doesn't really do very much. Maybe one day. But not the same about Copperajah. We've also got the ability Bronze Body. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. And this is where we basically start looking at Copperajah and getting really excited. Because this is great. Because now you've got effectively 330 HP. Although it's only 330 HP if your opponent is trying to one-hit KO you. It's 360 if they're trying to two-hit KO you, as an example. And we can keep going with this, and this is awesome. But then we can even just full-on start taking the mick here. Because, of course, we do have things like, you're going to have to play a Radiant Pokemon. Well, how about Radiant Gardevoir? Radiant Gardevoir, of course, came around in Lost Origin, and it's got an ability whereby damage done to you is reduced by 20. Which means now you're not reducing damage by 30 with your ability, because between your ability and your Gardevoir, you're now reducing damage done to you by 50. And okay, it doesn't work against Pokemon EXs, it only works against Pokemon V, but how about V-Guard Energy? So now, if a Pokemon V is trying to attack you, and Pokemon Vs are still very much out there and seeing a huge amount of play, now you're taking 70 less damage. And we're not talking about something like Goodra. Because the thing with Goodra is, you have to actually get the attack going, and you have to stream the attack rolling irons every turn. And if you miss a turn of the attack for whatever reason, your opponent can then just attack into you and you don't get the reduction. If your opponent pushes you to the bench with something like an escape rope and then uses something like Boss's Orders to drag you back active, then all of a sudden the attack essentially didn't happen, and then they get to go and just hit you without the damage reduction. That doesn't happen with Copperajah. The ability is always there, Gardevoir is always there, and once you attach V-Guard Energy, your opponent has to actually go to the effort of removing it, or it's not going to work. As in, their damage isn't going to go through normally. So yes, it's got damage reduction on the level of something like a Goodra, but it is different to something like a Goodra, because Goodra has to use the attack every turn in order to get the damage reduction. Copperajah, okay fine, you've got to bench a basic Pokemon and attach an energy, but once you do that, the damage reduction is always there. Although it is 17 or 80, and against Pokemon EX or just single prize Pokemon, it is only 30, because both Radiant Gardevoir and V-Guard Energy specifically only reduce damage by attacks from Pokemon V. Although I do need to mention, if you're worried about Radiant Gardevoir only working against Pokemon Vs, etc., do remember that Radiant Serena is a thing. Now that heals 20 rather than reduces damage by 20, which is, it's a different thing, but it does heal from all of your Pokemon, but you have to take the damage and then heal it. But then again, we're going to see in a minute the attack self-damages all of your bench, and this will then heal up the damage you do to it, or at least a lot of it. So maybe this would be an option instead. And this is why I get excited about Copperajah. We'll get to the attack in a minute. The attack is actually really good as well. But between the ability and the massive HP to begin with and everything else we've got going on, this is awesome. In terms of weakness, we do have to mention Radiant Charizard. Radiant Charizard is still absolutely out there. It is still relevant. It will hit you for weakness, and that will suck. I can only apologize for that. Yeah, try and avoid Radiant Charizard, all right? Because that's a bad thing. But this is a Pokemon with some serious bulk, then unless you're against a fire deck, and you can always tech against fire decks, you are going to have a hard time taking this down if you're going against it. I love it. But then we got the attack Nosequake. 2 metal, 1 colorless energy, 260 damage. This attack also does 30 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. And it basically has to. Because this is amazing, and it's great, and we need some kind of downside. Although, do remember, if we look at the text of Copperajah, the ability doesn't say it only works when it's active, and it doesn't say it only works against your opponent's attacks. So any Copperajah EX on the bench won't take the residual damage from Nosequake because Bronze Body will be blocking it. That is actually very, very important. That is something we need to bear in mind. So I love this. I absolutely full on adore and love this. And the thing is, 260 is very, 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 very relevant. It will get Pokemon V because they're generally 220. It will get basic EXs and some Stage 1 EXs. Remember, I showed you Bayonet and Oink alone that were 250 and 260. So a lot of Stage 1 EXs will go down here. But then if we look at V-Stars, let's just go and use Lugia as an example, then all of a sudden, you see they've got 280. 280 is the magic number for Pokemon V-Stars. Choice Belt. There we go. It's a thing. It is absolutely a thing. And just while we're here, between V-Guard Energy, meaning you take essentially 70 less from Pokemon V, and the fact that you one-hit KO Vs, and with Choice Belt you one-hit KO V-Stars, this is great into any Pokemon V. It's so good. It doesn't, again, Choice Belt doesn't affect EXs, which kind of sucks, neither does V-Guard Energy, but it's not the end of the world. You're still hitting 260, that's still a lot of damage. And I do want to mention the fact that it's metal colorless is great, because of course that means 2 metal and a V-Guard Energy, and as I've explained, you're going to be wanting to use V-Guard Energy. So where's the downside? We've got this Pokemon that can be really, really bulky, that hits really good numbers. The downside is the energy. Now, pre-rotation, we still had Metal Saucer. Now, we don't. That has rotated. That is very important. Metal Saucer would be amazing. We still do have the Bronzong from Battle Styles that lets you move metal energy around the field as you like. But one of the best combos with that Bronzong is your Zacian from Sword and Shield, which lets you draw 3 cards, but if any of them are metal, you attach it to Zacian. Hopefully you get 1 or 2 metal on Zacian, move it over with Bronzong, combine it with Metal Saucer, and you're actually going to have your energy pretty much settled in the first couple of turns, and it's going to be awesome. We don't have that nowadays. We have Magnezone. And look, if you can get Magnezone working, this is legit phenomenal. Like, genuinely phenomenal. Because great damage, great HP, very hard to take down. And after a couple of turns of Magnezone, your Copperajah are going to be up and rolling, and your Magnezone will go down, and may well go down to your own attack, but that's not really the end of the world. You lose 1 or 2 Magnezone setting up, because Copperajah is going to take you through the game. I'm okay with that, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, and you probably should be too. The problem we have, it's a stage 2. And that's a huge issue. Now, we do have the amazing alternate art from Crown Zenith, the artwork rare by Shinya Komatsu. Absolutely stunning. But it's a stage 2. Now, you've then got the ability Giga Magnet, lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck every turn and attach any metal you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. And here's the deal. If you can get Copperajah up and running quick enough and early enough, it's phenomenal. Like, genuinely, legitimately phenomenal. And it is worth noting, when this card was revealed in Japan, it was actually trending on Japanese Twitter. Copperajah was trending on Japanese Twitter because there's so much potential in this card. But I'm not seeing the energy acceleration as much as I'd like. Maybe Magnezone works. Maybe we get something else in the future. Maybe we can just mostly manually attach or use worse energy acceleration because it's got that much bulk. I'm not 100% sure on this one. What I am sure about is this thing is going to survive a few turns. And it hits great numbers. And the combination of those two things is going to win you a lot of games, ladies and gentlemen. An awful lot of games. Right, there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. One more thanks and shout out to the lovely folks over at the Pokemon Company International for giving me the official reveal. Exclusive reveal. I don't know which phrase I'm supposed to use. I just know I'm absolutely delighted because this is awesome and I love being able to reveal cards. It makes me very happy. Plus, Copperajah is legit one of the best Gen 8 Pokemon, and this is a very exciting card, so that makes me happy. But now it's over to you guys. You know the deal at this stage. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.